We're here with Andrew Adams, aka the Fat Mystic Wizard, at the Indie Regional with his Pendulum Edition deck list.
Yeah, that everybody knows about.
Where
already.
did you place?
83rd, I think it was like 8th or 87th. I don't really know.
I forgot.
Yeah, I don't care.
So let's go ahead and start the deck list.
Okay. Obviously, I got all Pendulum Magician decks. 3 Skull Combat Joker, pretty mandatory. Searches most of your deck.
Slow down just a bit.
3 Wisdom Eye. Makes quite a bit of plays. Allows you to set the scales the way you want them. Triggers Star Pendulum Graph, which I'll get to later. Pretty standard. 3 Double Iris. Yet again, pretty standard. Searches your Pendulum Graphs, which allow you to make pluses for days. One of the MVPs of the day was Purple Poison Magician. Use this to actually blow up an anti-spell when they try to stop me turn 1. Funny as crap. And I've used this to create OTKs for days. 3 Black Fang Magicians. The reason I like 3 Black Fangs instead of 2 is you can't strike or warning these because you will just plus your opponent or you'll plus yourself because if they negate this, they'll just rebring them all back. So, 3 Harmonizing Magician. Yet again, a very big combo enabler. Does quite a bit. Instant Synchro allows you to go into some of the most busted synchros in the game. 1 White Wing. The reason I play the one White Wing is I do play a copy of Zark in the extra deck, and in my opinion, it's also good to go into her so you can save her for like Ignister and Omega, and then save your Harmonizing Magician for the Supreme Clear Wing and Beals. 1 Oath Dragon to loop Harmonizing Magician and Purple Poison plays. Actually very helpful today. 2 Astrograph Sorcerers. Combo extender, allows you to make OTKs, and allows you to summon Zark, obviously.
So why not 3 then, if more consistency?
The problem I had with 3 is I had to cut something out, and the thing is, I never wanted 3. The 2 worked just fine. Half the time I found myself discarding them or putting them in scales anyway, so I didn't really need 3, and it worked out. Now, hand trap.deck, 3 Ghost Staff, pretty standard.
I think we saw a lot of play today.
Pretty much every game outside my last match, I at least saw this once per match. And every time outside the Trickstar decks, burn in hell Trickstars, these actually help, so.
I think they're already doing that for you.
3 Droll and Lockbird, yet again, pretty standard. Deals with spirals, mirror matches, and a fun tech, it actually does really well against spirals. Or not spirals, Trickstars. Maxi, I don't need to explain. If you don't know what this card does...
Pretty mandatory and standard in most decks nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. So, on to my spells. That count was 31 monsters.
It's a very high monster count.
Yep. MVP. I'll do the story at the end real quick. Anywho. 2-star Pendulum Graph. Get you combos for days. You only need to really resolve 1 or 2 of these, hence why I didn't play 3. Once you get 2 of these or 3 of these resolved searches, you're pretty much golden. 3 Duelist Alliance, pretty standard, searches your Pendulum Graph, searches Double Iris, and gets plays going. 3 Wavering Eyes, yet again, pretty standard. Something also I can easily side out if I'm not in a mirror match. But when this goes off, it just makes pluses. In fact,
now, with this, did you actually get anyone's scales today and get all the effects off?
Yes, I did, actually. Against the Pendulum Mirror Match, Game 1. And then, for the only trap you play... Time Pendulum Graph, I play 3. The reason is people think you only need 2 because they're going to ignore it. Every time I saw this play, they try to get rid of this as soon as possible. In fact, the 3rd one is the only reason I won against the True Draco player was I had a 3rd one when I needed it. Fun fact of the day. Ghost Dash. 2 Desires, and I stopped 2 Desires with 2 Ghost Dashes causing an auto forfeit. Best duel of the day. Well, what? That was their fault for playing Desires and getting greedy.
So I'm assuming this is all for the main deck then?
That's for the main deck, standard 40, main deck, nothing really special.
The extra deck, I'm assuming we're moving on to?
Extra deck, yep. 1-time Star Magician, pretty standard. You never really need more than 1 because it gets you the key pieces you're missing like Skull Combat and Astrograph Sorcerer.
Now, are there times where this got one of your strike and you didn't get the effects on it at all?
There was one where it got Ghost Dash, but other than that, every other time I got it, they just let it go.
And did it change the game much?
Actually, yeah, it did, because I used this to do, I tapped into a ghost they were trying to sync with, and I barriered synchro. It was actually able to do 7,200 damage with the combo.
Pretty impressive, pretty impressive.
Tornado Dragon, pretty standard. You could use this offensively to stop your opponents, or defensively to make your combos go off. Really good. Summon that a lot. Baguska. Really good, except the one time that cost me my invite where it got rejected. Anytime the other time this was out, it shut him down. One from former Trapeze Magician.
I've heard this is a spicy tech. For what?
Listen, the reason we play this is, unfortunately, the cameraman gave me this idea. It prevents Trick Stars from burning. They actually have to deal with this because all Trick Stars burn damages in the 2/400s. While he's on the field and has overlay units, you cannot take damage less than his attack, which all the Trick Stars do.
So does this actually halter any of the Trick Star players you may have?
No, they kept me at bay, and the one time I did summon it, they top decked into Eater of Millions, was able to banish it, unfortunately.
Oh, so sad.
Yep. Dark Rebellion. It's supposed to be a way to... Dark Rebellion. Really good. Supposed to be able to finish off games. Never summoned it except the very last duel where it got me a duel. Because every time I would go into it, they wouldn't have a monster or a monster that would just say screw to him, like the Synchro version of this guy. Abyss Dweller. I was expecting more Paleos and I was expecting more Spirals, which I didn't fight any Spirals all 8 rounds today, surprisingly enough. Castell actually saved my Behiney in the Pendulum mirror match because I was able to bounce back their Synchro, and I pecked them 4 times because they couldn't summon.
So
Castell.
this won a game all on its own today.
Yep, Castell was one of the MVPs.
Impressive.
Another MVP, and this is my next spicy tech. People may remember this during the Pepe format, Evil Swarm Nightmare. If you can get this turn 1 against a Pendulum player, they are probably not, unless they have a way to get rid of it, they're probably not Pendulum summoning because you'll just ruin their day. And it's very easy to summon this deck, and it's easy to protect with Time Pendulum Graph.
So did this cause any wins today?
Yep, Pendulum Mirror Match. I just read the Pendulum Mirror Match. I kept just doing all kinds of crap to them. So that's it for the Exceeses. Now for the Synchros, 1 Clear Wing. Never went into this, unfortunately, because I never ran to decks where his effects would have mattered. 1 Omega, I forgot I had in the extra deck till round 7 or 8, but the 2 times I did it, it wrecked and caused me to win games. Compliments on my friends for letting me borrow it, aka Stitch. Ignister, a really powerful Synchro. I went into it several times. It actually did help, except the one time where I went to go for game with it, they just happened to have Floodgate Trap Hole, and I got stuck with it, unfortunately. And BLs, which honestly never actually summoned today.
Oh, why not?
I never needed it. The one time I taught True Draco, he never went into Masterpiece. Why would I summon something that they're just going to book or something? So, anywho. For my Link Monsters, Decode Talker only went into once because I had the opportunity. Almost want to cut this if it wasn't for the fact it's kind of mandatory. For the Fusions, another spicy tech was this, and I actually did summon this once and was able to steal an Omega effect that had been warninged in the graveyard, did double Omega with it. So, yeah, double Omega and looping that over and over was hilarious. And obviously, like I said, I play 1 Zark.
Thought you play the 1 Zark just in case.
Yes, and this actually would have been summoned today had someone not actually stopped Astrograph Sorcerer, unfortunately.
So I'm assuming that was all for the extra deck?
Yep, that's all for the extra deck.
So onto the side.
This is where most of my unique ideas come in. Double Ghost Ogre, just more hand trap hate because, yeah, cousin borrowed, hush. So, 2 Ghost Ogres, standard. 3-dimensional barriers for the mirror match.
Now, I'm seeing everyone's side this day. Is there a reason no one's maining it?
The reason I don't main it is because 2 of my biggest matchups, which is Spirals and Trick Stars, don't really rely on their extra deck that much. The only reason, if I thought Pendulums would be more dominant, I would have mained them, but I didn't think Pendulums would be dominant enough to main them, so I decided to side them, and one of the best choices I made. 2, Kamungus. Yeah, I know I don't have Gamma Seals, but there are people there today that were actually playing level 8 decks, so I'd rather go for level 7. That's harder to use unless you're playing Dark Magician. And, funny enough, I was able to Kaiju, what was it? I can't remember. Oh yeah, I was actually able to Kaiju a Crystal Wing that was made unaffected by card effects. So funny. And that's where we get to some of my interesting techs. I wanted these to be side blockers, but I ended up siding 3 Prohibitions.
Now, why was this a side card?
Prohibition, the way it works is that you declare a name of a monster. And as long as this card makes it on the field, that monster cannot be used. Once it's on the field, its effects cannot be used. It cannot attack. It cannot be synced with anything. So what you do is you call Spiral Super Agent, which shuts down, obviously, Agent. It shuts down Tough, and it shuts down Helix. So until they get rid of this, they're going to have issues. I want it to be side blocker so I can Pendulum summon it and protect with Pendulum Graph, but I could not find them today, so... I actually got this against a Trickstar player, and it cost him a game, and I did it against the Pendulum player when I declared, what was it I declared? Oh yeah, I declared Wavering Eye, so neither of us had it. 2 Heavy Storm Dusters. Now, many people are wondering why I don't play Twin Twisters. The reason I don't play Twin Twisters is half the time, the one card I want to stop is Anti-Spell. An anti-spell will make me wait till my next turn to use it. This I could sit when they have anti-spell and use it on their turn and not have to wait as long. And there are times where this did help me. I was actually able to stop a double anti-spell with this. And the only card I never used today. 3 Royal Decrees, expecting more magical players. Never ran into them.
So these didn't get used at all.
No, unfortunately.
So is there anything you wanted to see more today or want to cut in the end?
The funny joke is, there were several times I wish those were ashes, and I wish several times that those were Droll and Lockbirds. I always had the wrong one at the wrong time. But if I was a cut, I'd probably cut out the Royal Decrees for a better side deck card, and I would probably side out the Starving Venom. As funny as it was, I never went into it often, and the one time I did, as funny as it was, didn't really change what I was winning either way. So
is that all?
pretty much it.
Okay, so this is Andrew Adams with his Pendulum Edition deck profile from the 2017 Indie December Regionals.
The 200th one, for that matter.